packed studio, Kitchen Colorado, the Modern Eater Show. Greg Hollenbeck, Jay Parker, Brian Freeman, Little Rich Snyder in Miami. Amber Strohauer did such a great job. On Facebook, what did we get? Little Rich says he's watching. Jeff Powell says, no such thing as a perfect potato. She's right. Is there a perfect potato, Chef Christopher Moore?
First and foremost, I don't think anything's ever perfect.
Is there a number 2 potato?
There is. Well, so there's grading of potatoes, but in terms of perfection, let's just take that out of the equation.
Can't everything be perfect, Christopher?
You know what? In a perfect world, everything would be perfect, would it not?
Number 2s are perfect as well.
Number 2s are awesome because you can do whatever you want with a potato because a potato can be used in so many different ways. I made glass potato chips out of potatoes.
Are those really? I thought that was just
plastic.
I had no idea what you made those from.
It's
truly
potatoes, man.
We should have brought those over there. Where's George? Yeah. George, go grab those potato chips right there. Those are cool.
Hey, by the way, Chef, I think you're perfect, babe.
Oh,
just
that.
So you know.
Thanks. I didn't even shave today, but thank you. Appreciate that.
You look perfect with the imperfection.
It is.
Degree Metropolitan Food and Drink.
Right at
I'd like
MSU
to
campus.
say that's your new spot, but you've been there for a little while.
I've been there for 6 months.
6 months. How's it going?
It's great. We're getting ready to switch our menu up to do winter menus. We get very busy for Pepsi Center events because we are right across the street from Pepsi Center. Our valet parking fills up. Our parking lots fill up to the point where we can't even, as employees, can't even park there. We have to park down at the Tivoli garage. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we fill up and people come in and rave about the food we do, and it's a great place. It's a great opportunity, and it used to be a dining teaching lab for MSU.
Oh, did it really?
And it is not anymore? Or?
No. So Sage Hospitality, who I work for, took it over 4 years ago, and my predecessor, did a lot of barbecue, a lot of local Americana type cuisine. And my view of it, since I've taken it over, was give it an identity. And I'm like, well, let's make it. We've got travelers from all over the world that come to our hotel, so why not we make it like as much local Colorado stuff as we can? So that's why I'm trying to partner with Rocker Spirits and bring Rocker.
Hold
in.
on a minute.
Sorry.
Wait, go slow because this really rings with us, right? So that local mentality,
right?
We'd like to think you got a little bit of that from us.
A little bit,
just a teeny bit.
Right?
Why is local important to you, Chef?
Because I'm supporting, through my Chefs Association, I've gone out and I've gone on tours of ranchers and farmers and people who raise and grow all the products that I get to use as a chef, and without them, I don't have a job. I have nothing to work with. My medium is fickle food.
But it's easy to have one truck drop off everything you need for the week.
Sure, but I'm not a chain, am I? And I'd rather source something that I know is grown like 2 hours away or 4 hours away.
I'm not coming at you.
No.
I love everything.
I didn't take it that way.
I'm not coming at you.
I didn't take it that way. But the idea is that I'm supporting them because they have a family to feed, right? In this world of modernization and corporate takeovers, and let's think about Hormel and Smithfield, and Smithfield's owned by a Chinese corporation.
Do it, man.
Right?
Do it.
So why not? Why am I working with someone who raises hogs in Lafayette or Longmont?
Would you rather have potatoes from Strohauer
Absolutely.
or something from Simplot?
Absolutely. No. You know what? Little story. My uncle used to have a meatpacking plant in Nampa, Idaho. He was bought out by Simplot because Simplot bought all the property all around him, and he was only the rail spur. He had the only rail spur in the area. And after years and years, my uncle finally said, "You know what? I'm going to retire and sell out." And Simplot took over his property.
Isn't that crazy though?
It is.
Are there aliens walking around?
No. This is southeast of Boise in Idaho. So there could be. You never know.
Well,
Snake River Canyon.
What did they decide to do with the land? I'm sure they're still doing agriculture. Did they change the methods?
No, so my uncle actually just retired. He retired. My aunt was a registered nurse, so they were good. But he just got out of the business altogether. He just walked away. The fun part about it, though, is Samplot does a lot of really good things for big businesses in terms of like production and ease of labor cost saving, pre-prepared things. That's fine and dandy, but if you're a chef and you're a chef-driven concept, you want your cooks to be able to do the things they're supposed to do and learn the techniques of what they're doing. That's why I'm part of the Chefs Association and teach.
We're so proud of you,
right?
Man.
Appreciate it.
You do a great job. Food. What's the type of food at Degree?
Type of food is again, it's
Did you continue on with that type of menu?
Yeah, so it's regional American is what we do, but we do seasonal cuisine. So right now, like I said, we're getting ready to switch to winter menus. We're taking our shrimp summer rolls off. We're going to put on a coconut poached salmon over like farro risotto with winter vegetables, things like that.
You're more into the root side of things, right?
Well, it's fall, so that's the time of year, right? So like right now tonight we're doing my associate, my coworker, who's my lead line cook, she's putting out a roasted red curry risotto for everyone here.
She's a rock star.
She is a rock star. And the fun part about it is that's the idea is that here's a product. Let's do something with it. Let's play with it and do something fun with it because it's in season right now. One of the hardest things in cuisine right now is because food is global, you can get things that aren't grown anymore in the summer. They come from South America because they're still in season, but they're not in season here, right? Melons. I have this big thing about melons. I'm like, melon season ended.
Hey, thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
Right?
Please take asparagus off your menu, chefs. When it comes from Peru,
right.
It comes on a boat.
Right.
It's like, please.
Take it off your menu.
When you cut into a cantaloupe and it's as green as a honeydew, you're like, something's wrong here.
Yeah.
It does have it's cellulose. It has no flavor, right? It's not a true melon.
Thank you, chef. Thank you.
What touches have you put on that menu that are just close to you?
Oh, I changed the entire menu, but a lot of things. So when I first got there, we had 7 different sides that were all fried items, and I knocked it down to 1. We have French fries.
I like that.
That's it? Just French fries?
French fries.
No fish and chips?
So as a side. So the sides.
As a side.
Sides I backed up.
Mr. Greg, come on now.
So I backed it off and I said, one of my son's favorite things is a tomato, cucumber, and onion with lemon juice and olive oil and a little salt and pepper. He'll eat bowls of that stuff because it's fresh, it's crunchy. That's a side. That's one of our most popular sides. Fresh fruit. We're switching now to cutting apples and pears and oranges and grapes.
That's not easy to do.
But you know what? If someone orders a side of fresh fruit, we're going to cut it to order because it's fresh. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Right? If you sit there and watch Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares when he'd go to these places, all he talked about was you have a freezer full of stuff. And his mantra was getting rid of the frozen stuff and do everything fresh. There's a way to do that, right? It's training your staff to think in that mentality. Right?
Well, it's more work, and so it's interesting. I love to hear where you're going with this, chef, because so many chefs are going to this thing of give me prep foods and give me stuff that I can't get the labor.
Right? I mean,
but it's just it's noise, man. Do it right, and you don't need to serve 10, 15 ounces of something. You can give someone 6 ounces of fresh food, and they're happy, versus having to give them 15 or a pound of process.
I am a firm believer in. I don't believe in gluttony. I don't believe in the Americana size of over-portioning. I lived in Europe for a while and saw that firsthand, and realizing and that actually reflected on the way I ate and the way I looked at food, and that's kind of the way that I cook now because I cook a lot of fresh. Even in my banquet operations. When you're doing stuff for 150 people, I'm doing all fresh.
See, that's unbelievable to me. And how do you, food waste is the first thing that comes to my head, especially with banquets, weddings, that kind of thing. I mean, I think, put the cheapest food in there.
No.
For that type of thing.
Wrong.
For me, it's not. It's there's a fine balance between quality, cost, and quality. For me, that's the important thing because we have a lot of return clientele, and that I want them to notice that there's been an improvement or a change in the quality of the cuisine they get.
Let's do this. So folks that are in the shot of our voice, again, Christopher Moore, degree Metropolitan Food and Drink. He's a great chef and a friend of the show. I stand by everything that you do on the culinary side. It just blows my mind all the time. But for folks that are like, okay, well, I'm going to go to Old Major or Coperta or Lease Wiggins, Beast and Bottle. I'm going to do that. It sounds like Christopher Moore's doing that. And okay, this is. Tell them why to come see you. Tell them why
to come to Degree.
Yeah,
because we prepare just honest, straightforward food. We're not elevated. We're not whole animal butchery. We don't have we're not Italian. We do what we do because, in my opinion, it's about hospitality. When guests come to the door. And I go out, and whether it's myself greeting them or a server or a front of house member or even my cooks will walk out behind the line and go out and say, hey, how you guys doing today? How many? 2? Anywhere you want to sit. No reservation? Great. And the idea behind that is making them feel comfortable. It's how the experience that they have when they're there, and then also the food and the meal that they get there. It's like I met a family that came for a concert at the Pepsi Center, and it was their 4th time at Degree. Twice since I've been there, and they came in again because we stay at the hotel all the time. great place. The food, unbelievable. And I'm talking to them like, we come up from Albuquerque to come to concerts at the Pepsi Center.
There's nothing better when you go to a hotel and you actually want to eat at their restaurant.
Right?
Nothing better than that. Let me ask you this. Okay, and we're going to take a break, come back. We'll come back with you, Christopher Moore. I also want to get Scotty on the show, too. I think that would be cool.
That'd be great.
The GM over there of Spring Hill Suites.
Spring Hill Suites?
Yeah. So I want to dovetail off of why. Because you touched on that local thing. Know that you're supporting local, first of all. We love local. Secondly, you've got a quality chef that's your accolades as a chef you're very well known.
Appreciate that.
Chef. So you've got the local aspect, you've got the great food, you've got the sourcing, you've got a reason to stay at Spring Hill
Absolutely.
Suites. But at the same time, these are community people that are leading this community into, you might not be mentioned in those names of chefs, but I'll guarantee you, if you go eat there, you're going to understand why Christopher Moore stands out amongst the rest of the people. And that's what I like about you, Christopher. Everywhere you go, you put your thumbprint.
They say that chefs are supposed to put a little bit of them into their cooking, and whether it's like skin or blood or whatever. But I cook with my heart because I want to present something to someone who's going to be excited about it as I am to prepare it for them. And I try and impress that upon my staff.
Let's talk food when we come back.
We will.
And we'll get Scotty on with us.
That'd be great.
Okay, gosh, this is so cool. All right, we're going to go to the Little Rich corner. It looks like Dustin Evans and Amber are locked and loaded. And Little Rich, I don't know, she's doing a great job tonight. This is her third try at it, and I think we'll get it down just right. But we'll take a break here. Again, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on Periscope, live on Twitter, live on iHeartRadio. We're live. It's a great thing. On the air everywhere. This is the Modern Eater Show from Studio Kitchen, Colorado.